Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is a movie that was released in 2016 but is a prequel to the original Star Wars film that was released in 1977, but also takes place after Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, that was released in 2005. So Rogue One tells the story of a group of rebels who stole the technical schematics for the Death Star, which led to the events of A New Hope. As I mentioned earlier, it takes place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope in the Star Wars movie timeline, but it's actually a lot closer to A New Hope. You can pretty much read the opening crawl to the original Star Wars movie, and it will basically lay out the story for Rogue One perfectly.
The movie starts out with Jin Erso, played by Felicity Jones, who is rescued by a group of rebels and joins the rebellion. The rebels find out that there's a giant super weapon with enough firepower to destroy an entire planet called the Death Star in development by the Empire. And together, with the help of Chirrut, a blind warrior who is a devout worshipper of the ways of the Force, his buddy Baze, and a pilot, they form a super secret task force known as Rogue One.
What I liked about this movie is that they showed that the moral values of the rebels were not always good, and in times of war, sometimes you have to do some shady stuff, and it was good that the movie showed that the rebels were not all Boy Scouts.
Diego Luna, who plays Cassian Andor, is a perfect example of this. There are some things that he does in the movie that can be seen as morally ambiguous, but it's understandable why he does what he does. You're an underdog, a rebel fighting an ultimate superpower, so of course you're going to take any advantage that you can get, even if it means that sometimes you're going to have to do things that can be seen as morally wrong.
I loved the droid in this movie. K2SO was absolutely hilarious.
He has a pretty dry sense of humor and kind of a dick, but he's lovable. Out of all the cast in Rogue One, he's definitely my favorite. That being said, Donnie Yen's character Chirrut Imwe was also awesome. He's pretty much portrayed as a blind Zen-like warrior monk throughout the entire movie, and I was just waiting for him to beat the crap out of 10 stormtroopers Ip Man style. The user interfaces of the computer panels in this movie look retro, as if they were created in the 70s. Some of the hairstyles of the actors and actresses also match that of the time period, and it's these touches in the movie that gives Rogue One a continuity to the original Star Wars movie. It's good that they didn't just cop out and make all the interfaces look like they came out of Iron Man.
That's one of the things I didn't like about episodes 1, 2, and 3. The story takes place before the original Star Wars trilogy, but all the tech in the prequels look way more advanced because they were made many years after the original trilogy.
The movie has this gritty, dark tone to it. All the characters look dirty and battle-worn, and the stormtroopers look like they've been through some shit. I mean, look at their suits. They're just caked with dirt and don't look shiny at all like they did in A New Hope. Krennic, played by Ben Mendelsohn, is the main villain in the movie, and is your typical Imperial douchebag. He's overseeing the development of the Death Star and reminds me of your typical 80s businessman trying to climb that corporate ladder and increase his ranking within the Empire. Hey Lord Vader, I got us an 8:30 Reza Dorsia tonight. They got some great sea urchin ceviche. Sweet.
Now I know the question you're asking. Is Darth Vader in this movie? And the answer is yes, but sparingly. But in the scenes that he is in, oh man.
Vader has a very limited screen time in this movie, but when he does appear, I got freaking chills. He is truly frightening in this movie, and there's a scene in the final act, oh man. I feel like I should shut the hell up now before I spoil anything. The final act of this movie is freaking amazing. You have intense space dogfights with crazy beach battles. Think Star Wars meets Saving Private Ryan. We really get to see the cost of war between the rebels and the Empire that we've never really seen before, and it really depicts an all-or-nothing kind of situation that the rebels have to face.
Although I really enjoyed this movie, it's definitely not perfect. I felt like the first hour of the film was pretty slow and it takes a while to build up to its finale. There were some moments of the film where the editing felt choppy and strange and just didn't really flow very well.
I also felt that the music wasn't very memorable either, especially for a Star Wars movie, which is a franchise with such an iconic theme. I was expecting to hear something for Rogue One where if you heard it, you can immediately identify that it was from Rogue One. But throughout the movie, you just hear pretty generic orchestral music mixed in with a couple tints of the old John Williams score. Honestly, I was expecting to hear something for Rogue One, much like what Duel of Fates did for The Phantom Menace, but I never really got that. Although I thought the characters were fine in the movie, I didn't find them very memorable at all, with the exception of K2SO and Chirrut. Those guys are awesome. But the rest of the team just felt like they were just there, and quite frankly, a little boring.
But even with its flaws, Rogue One was definitely enjoyable, especially the final hour of the movie. I would love to see this movie again, because Rogue One makes me a happy panda. So have you guys seen Rogue One yet? What do you guys think? Leave a comment and tell me what you thought. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it. It'll really help out the channel. Until next time, remember not to choke on